All right. Well, we're on the starbase stuff, I suppose. Let's actually, yeah. While we're on the starbase stuff, let's go. Ooh, Yusaku Maezawa has a video from on board the ISS. We should probably watch that too. I'll load that up and then. All right, drummer. Some pictures of SLS hardware. Okie dokie. Yeah. Nice. Well, I tell you, Novus, the proof is in the pudding. Proof is in the pudding, man. Alright. Here. While we're on Starship stuff, let's go over here. Nice, Iron. There you go. The proof is in the pudding, chat. 45-second clip of NS-19. Yeah, we can load that up too. I only have gelatin. Is that okay? Nope. Gelatin is in fact not pudding. Those are two types of desserts. So this footage is coming from our buddies over at NASA Spaceflight here. Go over there and give them a sub on their YouTube channel if you're feeling limber. Please do it. Doing that allows me, supporting them over there allows me to keep doing what I'm doing here. So shout out to all our NSF guys that watch the chat. Watch the stream in chat. I appreciate it, and I appreciate what you do. Why don't we use, instead of thermal tiles, why don't we just use pudding? We just need to coat the whole outside of the ship in pudding. Yeah, Katra, I couldn't figure that one out either. It's hanging from the bottom of the chopsticks. I don't understand that one. Thermal pudding. It's like thermal paste, but with pudding. The OLP tower is still really interesting to me. It's still old school with how the elevator system was built up. Yep. More flex pipe. So, alright, see this right here? Anybody that's ever worked on car exhausts knows exactly what that is. It's a flex joint. That's to take into account thermal expansion and contraction, because this looks like it might be a fuel line. I don't know that for sure, but whatever it is, it has a flex joint on it to take into account the pipe bending and flexing. And usually bending and flexing comes from thermals. From getting cold and getting hot and getting cold and getting hot. I'll now rub pudding. It will now rub pudding on it. So just coat the thing in pudding farm. Just tapioca. It'd be great. Dude, look at the deflection. This is why, I mean, it's fine. It's fine for this. This is fine because this thing is super light. But this is why this is why cranes have windage constraints. Look at the boom. I mean, keep in mind, this is not a problem because this is sped up footage. So it's not going very fast. If it was going that fast in real life, you guarantee you that wouldn't be doing that. But it is a little bit windy up there. But I'll tell you, man, the speed at which this thing is coming together is still blowing my mind. I want to see what parts of the OLP take launch well, and which parts need redesigned. Well, I'll tell you what, Vulcan, this thing is going to have cladding like 39A. That's what those mounts, those tabs right there on the beams are for. It's going to have cladding. You know why? You notice how the cladding at 39A, you can kind of see through it. It's transparent. There's a very good reason for that. That's not just aesthetic. And there's a very good reason why the Saturn V, the launch umbilical towers, and with the space shuttle, everything is kind of see-through, like an oil refinery almost. Everything is super see-through. Who knows me why? That's what I was just about to say. Who can tell me why? What is cladding? Here. They put up like a mesh screen on 39A. Here's a picture. So see this side relative to that side? Noise reflection, airflow. I meant more about the direct connections to the launch vehicle. Oh, yeah. No, they do get very toasty. Yep. They keep them hollow, so when the rocket goes by, because the exhaust is really hot, you get a lot of pressure shift, right? You get a lot of pressure shift. They keep this thing hollow, so the pressure change goes right through the building. Because if this was a solid front, right, see how you can see through the cladding? If this was a solid front, it would be the rocket engine, the tower would create a lot of drag, and it would deflect the tower. That's no good. Yeah, that's not a good thing. You do not want that. That's why the cladding is still see-through, even on 39A. Yeah, it wouldn't be solid for very long. Yeah, if you think about the surface area of one side of that launch tower, that's like a football field worth of surface area, right? That's getting hit with the pressure from a rocket engine. Yeah, if they didn't make them hollow, the tower would go like this. It would fall over when the rocket took off, especially with something like the Saturn V. Will the Starship Tower look like this? I think it will. I think it'll look exactly like that. I remember when they modified this to put the cladding on, this kind of mesh shield. When they modified it, they started putting tabs on the horizontal slabs. Horizontal beams are called slabs, right? In architecture. I mean, that could mostly refer to concrete, but they started putting those same types of tabs on the thing. See those? So I think this is going to have cladding just like 39A. It's going to pretty much look exactly like it. Here's some good footage of the 39A tower. Oh. That's right, heavy metal. Okay, weather guy. Thanks, man. Yeah, see the cladding? See how you can see through it? It's transparent. That's cool. Hazmat purging. It's not actually, it's haz gas, not hazmat. Slide wire baskets. They reuse these from the space shuttle, by the way. How do the non-folding fins not have any impact on ascent? Oh, nice truck. That's not a FIRD, but I'd take it. So how do they have no impact? Oh, well, I'll tell you, man, the proof is in the pudding. I'm doing it again, aren't I? Okay. Let me go back to let me go back to the montage video. All right, so let's go over here. So I'll take a look at the grid fin. What can you tell me about it? On the top versus the bottom. Seriously, this is not a trick question. What's the difference? So I'm waiting for you. You answer the question. What's the difference between the top and the bottom? Once again, it's not a trick question. I'm just pointing. I asked this question so you'd notice. Two-thirds higher. New Century, I think that catching the boosters is doable. It's definitely doable. Abso-freaking-lutely doable. It's a hard problem to overcome. That's always been my thing. So yeah, the bottom part is a booster. You can tell because of the way it is. Hey, Hokey, you get the subdiactin. All right, so see these things right here? The points. See how the grid fins have points on one side? That's why. That's why they don't make drag on the way up, but they're control surfaces. They make a ton of drag because if you're going to have something that's going to influence something that flies through the air, a stabilizer or a control surface like this, you're going to need it far away from your center of mass, and it's going to have to create a lot of drag, right? That's the key to the grid fin design right there. See how it's spiky on one side? What that does, the spikes on the grid fins channel the boundary layer at hypersonic speeds into the grid fin cavities here, okay? All right. If that was not English, I got you. All right, so T-38 supersonic, all right? Anytime something breaks the sound barrier, this is a great picture because it makes me look orange. Orange, EJ, good? Orange rocket, good. All right, anyway. So see this? See these boundary layers that happen? Okay. I could go into what's going on here with aerodynamics if you really want to, but long story short, when air gets hit by something going faster than the speed of sound, it basically divides by zero and goes, nah, I don't know where to freaking go. What do you want me to do? I'm just going to go this way, okay? I'm just going to go this way. I don't know what's happening here. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. So it shoots you off it shoots the air off. And this right here, this phenomenon is called a boundary layer, okay? Nose cones, pointy nose cones create a boundary layer at hypersonic speeds that has a theta angle that basically channels this black line into the grid fins here. So this type of control surface only works if air is coming into it this way. If windward side is this way, leeward side on top. This thing flying through the air with air coming this way doesn't really do anything. It doesn't really create drag. Why? Because it's just a mesh. There's relatively pressure isn't going to build up on a small point like this with oncoming air. That thing has a super low coefficient of drag this way. But at hypersonic speeds, I mean, the coefficient of drag wouldn't change up to down because coefficient of drag is based off of surface area, right? Surface area to laminar flow. But when you're coming back down and air is hitting this thing at hypersonic speed, so faster than Mach 5, the theta angle of the boundary layer from that T-38 picture, that gets channeled into the little triangular cavities on the grid fin. See these things right here? Well, they're squares. They're not triangles. It's just the shadow. They get channeled in there, and that's what allows the control surface to do its thing. The grid fin moves, and it shoots the boundary layers off to the side. It's using basically compression lift. It's not compression lift, though. But Sile, that's the reason. The grid fins make no drag on the way up. Minimal. It's not very high. But on the way down, they make a ton of drag because they're control surfaces. A byproduct of lift, thus force to change the course of a vehicle flying around in the atmosphere, is drag. Everything that lifts something makes drag in some way, shape, or form because of differential pressure. Differential pressure creates vortices. What's a vortice? What is that? Or vortex? What does that mean? Well, vortexes, if you look at a computational fluid dynamics simulation, which is a visualization of aero effects. Here, check this out. Let me loop this footage for you. Anything that flies through the air that has differential pressure creates a swirling effect because the high pressure and the low pressure kind of yin-yang with each other. This right here is drag, visualized. That's what drag looks like if we could see it, because air is clear, right? It's hard to see. See that? This is a landing gear on a 777. You can see all the swirls that it's making. The more tight that this swirl is, the more drag it makes. See that? This is what the grid fin basically does at Mach 5. It makes that. And those are what come out of the squares. Like if you could, I'm sure SpaceX has a CFD analysis of it somewhere. Just like at the end of the space shuttle wings when it's coming in for a landing. Any plane, T-Man. Actually, you guys, you know, people often ask me, I'll pivot a little bit. People often ask me, like, okay, why does NASA need to be a thing? Why is NASA here? Like, what do they do? Like, they don't help me. I pay for this and they don't help me. Okay, so your airline tickets are not very expensive. NASA is part of the reason why. NASA's part of the reason why they're so inexpensive. Because if we look at a newer modern airliner here, let's take a look at this one. How about this? Take a look at the 737. See this thing right here? What's this? This is called a winglet. Winglets are a NASA innovation. NASA is the one that came up with this. Now, go back over here and think about that. That's coming off the end of a wing. This is called a vortex. The vortex is drag. That's drag visualized right there. The tighter the swirl, the more drag it makes because it's more turbulent air. Look at how much drag this thing makes. All this phenomenon right here, that's all based off of this, of air getting compressed inside of here and low pressure on the outside, or low pressure on the outside, high pressure on the inside. That thing, instead of making the air swirl off the end of the wing, it shoots it up. And you get no swirl off the end of the wing. That's basically able to, because the wing makes less drag for the same amount of lift, that basically was able to reduce fuel consumption by like 8%. Now, that doesn't really sound like much, but an 8% reduction in anything is ridiculous in aerospace engineering. That's insane. That is a huge margin. It's free fuel. Yep. It's free fuel for you, Jim. That's part of the reason why the airline industry keeps the tickets down, keeps the ticket costs down, because of stuff like that. You don't need to use as much fuel. You can charge cheaper prices. Except for food. Well, food does create drag. Why didn't they put winglets on the 787? That's a really good question, actually. Who knows? There's no winglets on the 787. Why? I'm wondering who knows this. Because it's massive? Well, drag doesn't care. You could have a space shuttle fly and that makes drag. The entire wing. So Boeing, if we look at a picture of a 787 flying, Boeing came up with this idea. The wings are made out of basically the same thing that they make fairings out of. It's carbon composite wings. These carbon composite wings are designed to bend. When a 787 is flying, the wings bend up. They bend with the aerodynamics. And when they're in the bent up position, the outside bends in such a way that it basically becomes a winglet. Smart, man. Very smart. That's next level stuff. That's how far ahead of the game that plane is. 787 is like next level stuff. It's unbelievable. Still, to this day, it's like they fly all the time. They fly all the time. You know, it's... But, I mean, I've flown on one, dude. It is... Dude, I'm telling you, that is next level. It was like nothing I've ever flown in ever. Yeah, that's another good point. The 777X. This thing. The new one that they flew. It's a 777 with fairing wings, is what I like to call them. They took the 787 technology and applied it to a 777. The 777 wings bend like you would not believe. It's unbelievable how much these wings bend up. Like, okay, look at this picture of it flying, dude. The wings, look at where the wings are relative to the fuselage. The wings are up here somewhere. They bend. They bend with it. And don't get me wrong, for the Airbus people, the A330 does the same thing. The A330 is Airbus's answer to this. The A330 does that. It's smart, man. That's really freaking smart. You bend with the aerodynamics like a bird's wing. It's genius. That's next level stuff. And also, shout out to the 777X. I love that plane. You think you know how big this thing is. Dude, that right there, you see the inlet on the GE90? That's the size of a 737 fuselage. Just thought I'd let you know. Oh, the 787 was one of the smoothest rides I've ever had in any airplane. And I flew on one for 14 hours. Japan, man. The anhedral shape is also self-stabilizing. It's genius, man. It's really smart. It's the GE9X? Yeah, for the 777X. That's right, Max. Yeah, I mean, dude, for the people that know, 787s have Recaro seats in them. Spared no expense, man. It was the smoothest ride I've ever had, ever. Look, dude, okay, look at this picture. Look at the wing. Look at how the wing bends with the aerodynamics. I mean, look at where this thing is. It's almost as tall as the rudder. Look at the wing flex. That's on purpose. That's what the 154 test is all about. You make something complicated, you know, you want to break the mold, you're going to have problems. It's just teething problems. Every aerospace project has them, Some just have them more than others. Yeah, but does it have a Mr. Coffee? I don't know. Yeah, maybe. It has Mr. Radar on it. Look at that. So, yeah, the 787 doesn't need a winglet. The wing bends to be the winglet. You have become winglets. Smart. Very, very smart. That's really interesting. I mean, look at how the back of the wing bends more than the front of the wing. You see that? There's no vortex that comes off of this thing. Best part is no part. Am I right? Who watches Radar without coffee? Yeah, I don't know. Somebody that has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on their luggage. It's their luggage combination. Pretty cool, though, huh? So, yeah, long story short, Sile, to answer your question, the grid fins channel hypersonic vortices from well, they're not hypersonic vortices. It's a hypersonic boundary layer into these cavities here, and that's what allows the grid fin to steer. If laminar flow is coming in at the top, it doesn't do anything. It just goes right through it. But the little pointy edges on the grid fins right here, the little pointy boys, these guys, are what make the grid fin work. Does that mean that aircrafts are safe to fly behind it? I wouldn't, if I was a pilot, I wouldn't fly directly behind any aircraft, Reveril, but I mean, I'd assume it's less. Oh, how'd you know my luggage combination? Yeah, 747. 747, the 747 is my favorite passenger plane. I like the 777, I like the 787, and I like A340s for some random reason, and IL-96s. But the 747 is bae. That's my favorite. I've liked the 747 since 5-year-old EJ, 20-something years ago, or 25-something years ago, right? I remember having this conversation with my dad when I was like 5. I'm like, wait, why does that one have 2 floors on it? And my dad was like, because it's a 747, son. Because it's a Boeing. And I'm like, I like that plane. That has 2 floors on it like a double-decker bus. I like that plane. Like a double-decker train. He's like, yep. Mr. EJ was like, yep, that's a double-decker train that flies in space. I'm like, Daddy, I like that one. Can't forget MD-11s. I'm a TriStar kind of guy. Sorry, man. I like L-1011s. I think L-1011s were the better tri-jet. Fight me. Ever flown in one? Nope. Never. Never done it. I've flown in a 777, and I've flown in a 787, I've flown in a 737, I've flown in an A320. Like, this is as a passenger, not flying the plane. I've rode an Embraer 190. But yeah, never a 747. One double-decker shuttle. And then you learn that the 747 also carried a giant spacecraft on top of them. Yep. Yeah, Bill, I'm with you on that one. Nice, Chief. Super Connie? Oh, if we're talking... I mean, the Constellation was the propeller plane, dude. Lockheed Constellations are about as good as you can get for a propeller passenger plane. It doesn't get better than those things. Hey, thank you. I picked up your advice a few weeks ago to only talk good about people, and oh my god, I get like 69,000 social points since then. Everybody talks with me, especially girls, and all I need to do is just shut my mouth. Thanks. If you don't have anything good to say, Swishio, don't say it. Dude, there are some reporters out there in the spaceflight industry that I talk bad about, and I don't like doing it. I really don't. It's just, you shouldn't do that. Like, I'll be honest. And once again, I'm not perfect, you know? But yeah, dude, just shut up. Keep your mouth shut. Trust me, it works. Convair 990. If we're talking Gen 1s, then the 990 is my favorite. If so, we're talking comparing 707 DC-8 and the 990. Convair, man. They made the Atlas. They made the Atlas rocket. Great plane. Yeah, Swishio, I don't like doing it, though. You don't see me do that with anybody else. I only like doing it with people that are spreading misinformation. Or they're sharing an op-ed as a news story. That's, like, dude, I don't like doing it. I really don't. Like, but yeah, dude, that's good. I'm glad you could heed the advice, dude. Now we're talking, Chief, yeah. Yeah, Reverald, that's why. Like, I really don't do it. That's not me, dude. But, I mean, some of the times these articles are just so, they're peddling just completely false information. And I can't as a spaceflight educator let that slide, dude. Like, it's because space is too important to me, man. But then again, you know, who cares? But you shouldn't talk bad about people. Don't do that. But that's good. I'm glad that I could help. I mean, Reverell, here's the thing. Eric Berger had an article about the shuttle simulator yesterday, and I loved it. It was a great article. It was fantastic. It was a very well-written article, well-reported, and it was a great article. We read it yesterday for Space News. It was great. I had no problems with it. I had no problems sharing it. It was perfect. You know? But yeah, generally, you shouldn't really... I mean, dudes, I really don't like doing that. You shouldn't do that, but either way. Yeah, I mean, entropy, like, I make no distinction that I am horribly biased towards flying more things into space. I don't care what it is, we should do that. That's my only real, like, oh my god, you're biased. Yeah, I'm biased about spaceflight. Gee, how could you tell? I wonder what gave that away. Nice, Roblox. Okay, sorry for completely derailing the stream. No, that's good, Swishio. Yeah, you noticed the difference. Don't talk bad about people. People don't want to hear that, dude. People don't want to hear how much you have disdain for a person. And, like, you want to hear the real truth? I have no ill will towards anyone in the spaceflight industry. I really don't. The articles are where I'm like, what the heck? But I don't hate people personally. That's ridiculous. Only psychopaths do that kind of thing. Unless it's an ASAT missile. Well, here's the thing, Entropy. And this is what I'm getting at. Sometimes criticism is warranted, okay? Now, whether you think criticism is warranted or not, you know, that's up to personal judgment, okay? The ASAT tests are stupid. And I think I've been very clear on that. Anti-satellite missile tests create a ton of debris up in space. I don't care if we do it. I don't care if India does it. I don't care if Russia does it. I don't care if China does it. I don't care if the Europeans do it. I don't care. It's stupid anyway. Like, you know, and then people are like, oh, EJ, but the U.S. one that they shot down, all that deorbited. Dude, why the frick even roll the dice? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And I think the U.S. got the freaking message. Like, we did it once in 2008, and we said, yeah, no, this is not a good idea. We should never do this again. Screw the canyon. The desert is the best place to build for sure. You should have talked me into this way sooner. My first factory was in the canyon, S. It was awesome. My first factory was in the canyon, and I built up in the canyon. But yeah, the desert's good. You have a lot of area to spread out. Yeah, God, exactly. I'd like to think that my beefs with stuff is warranted. But once again, that could be me being biased against spaceflight, or biased towards spaceflight, affecting my judgment. And you got to be careful of that. And once again, I'm not perfect. I ain't perfect. I'm horribly, horribly biased towards spaceflight, to the point where it's nauseating to people that don't care about spaceflight. I acknowledge this, and I try not to let it affect my judgment too much. Quick comment to Roblox's picture. If he stayed on his roof just a few seconds longer, we'd have a caution with like 8 laps to go in a shootout for the win. Max, you know what, man? Here, flip the subject back to racing for a second. I had a lot of fun yesterday. I was able to race when I wasn't half asleep. I'm just putting it out there. And look what happened. Look what happened. I was in contention for that win. Don't get me wrong, I'm not mad about what happened. It was the netcode. I get it. It sucks, but I get it. How's it bumping? Roblox, we were working great on that track last night, dude. Well, I was racing 3 hours early because I wanted to get up for the new Shepherd launch. But Jackal, you know what? I enjoyed racing a lot more when I wasn't half asleep. I don't like that people don't like spaceflight, not gonna lie. Yeah, Capybara, but that's letting bias affect your opinion. Don't do that. That's my problem. That's my problem with, certain articles that I see. People, it's very, very clear that people are letting their biases towards one launch vehicle over another affect their judgment. When the reality of the situation is that, look, now is not the time to pick and choose. This would be like saying you're a Ford fan in 1905. And Chevy sucks. The automotive industry isn't even established yet. What are you talking about? We, as spaceflight fans, we really can't afford to be like, no, this rocket sucks. Don't do this rocket. Do this rocket. We can't afford that right now. The industry isn't established enough. If we want to get to, like commercial rockets, if we want to get so where we could buy a plane ticket into space and back, for vacation or something. If we want to get to that point, more rockets is the solution. Scale is what beats this problem. Just like the car, just like the airplane, just like the train. Same exact thing. And so do most people, like 95% like it. Yep. Is there any real way to clean space junk? Well, Hando, the reason why we don't get space junk is because the amount of energy you need to go get the space junk is the same amount of energy that you need to just launch another satellite. That's why the Delta V is the reason why we don't go pick up satellites and bring them back. However, if we had a better way to get into space that was a little more cost effective, that would make going and getting those satellites worth it. If we were able to launch in such high frequency that the costs could get down to lower than the satellite, which we could get there, sure. So, like, say a satellite costs $200 million, right? If we get the costs down, right, to, I don't know, like 15, 20 million a flight, which Soyuz is basically there. It's pretty damn close. That Delta V equation doesn't matter anymore. You could send a vehicle up, grab the old satellite, put the new satellite in position, and bring the old satellite back down, and then recycle it. That would make the recycling satellites way, way better. Dude, I'm telling you, whoever has a way to be able to launch into space for less and bring payload back down in the future is going to make bajillions of dollars on picking up the trash. I'm serious. Because they're going to go... Dude, satellites have tons of rare earth metals. Platinum, aluminum, copper, silicon. They're worth billions of dollars in scrap. Serious. Dude, satellites need a lot of exotic materials to be able to survive in the vacuum. If we can find a better way... find a cheaper way to get out there. And don't get me wrong, the only cheaper way to get out there is to have a healthy and established industry. You can't beat physics. But if we have a better understanding of those physics, i.e. something that flies into space like once a day instead of once every 3 months, that would make going and getting those satellites doable. In fact, it would be better to do satellite processing on orbit because somebody already paid to get those materials up there. That's rare earth metals up there that you could use to recycle and build better ships up in space. Dude, once again, whoever figures that one out, gonna make tons of money. Lots of money. Or can we break physics? Hi, Michael here. No. It's possible, dude. That's where we need to go. And that's what I mean. That's what I mean about being biased towards one rocket or another. That's really stupid. That's a really stupid thing to do right now. That's really not smart. That's not good for spaceflight in the long run. Yeah, in the short term, your rocket that you like might be able to fly more than other rockets. That's fine. And that's good. I'm not going to sit here and say that that's not a good idea either. It is a good idea. But the thing is that there's no way that... So, like, if we have less rockets... So, like, okay, I'll give you guys an example. If we canceled SLS tomorrow... Right? That's billions of dollars that are being spent on spaceflight that aren't being spent on spaceflight anymore. It's not like that money is going to go into SpaceX's pocket. That's not how that works. It'll go back into the federal budget and it'll probably go towards something that nobody likes. I don't know. That's something that's not spaceflight. You know what I mean? That is, as far as I'm concerned, that's money that's locked into spaceflight for a very long time. That's more money for the industry. That's more aerospace engineers in the industry, more people thinking about that problem. And if you have more aerospace engineers and more technicians and they have jobs to do, right? Think about all the people that created them, technicians, engineers. So they can go home and feed their children. Not their children can grow up to be big and strong and so on and so forth. Thus adding to the great chain of life. In reality, chat, you and I is in the same business. Cheers. No, you get a bigger spaceflight industry. A bigger spaceflight industry is going to yield more rockets. This ain't rocket science. It's economics. How did this whole rant even start? I don't know. I haven't said redundant dissimilar architecture once today, Jackery. Too much money has been spent on SLS to be canceled. It's not even sunk cost fallacy in my mind. Some people could look at that, and I can see that. I can see SLS as being sunk cost fallacy. I get it. I see it. But also at the same time, you're overlooking the fact that that's billions of dollars that are being spent on spaceflight that otherwise would not be spent on spaceflight. Like, I don't... How people don't see this, I really don't understand. Like, that's what I'm getting at. Like, that doesn't make any sense. Jackery. Redundant dissimilar architecture, redundant dissimilar architecture, redundant dissimilar architecture, redundant dissimilar architecture, redundant dissimilar architecture. 5 shots for you, boy. Man, you're not going to remember this night. You're going to go tres comas. You've killed them! Stop! Stop! He's already dead! Supersonic retro propulsion. Boom! Take another shot. Redundant similar statements. Hokey, NASA isn't about cost. It's about scientific understanding. And the important thing, the other really important thing to understand is that it's not mutually exclusive. Stuff like you can't. There's folks that look at you're right. There's folks that look at SLS and be like, oh, sunk cost fallacy, and then they look at James Webb and they say, oh, that's fine. What? No, NASA's equity, their profit has always been scientific understanding. That's so ridiculously important to understand. It's not about making money. It never was. Think NASA made money on going to the moon in the 60s? No, absolutely not. Soyuz is the Kimi Räikkönen of launch vehicles, Vulcan. Don't stop whenever I feel like it. Just orbit to me. Yeah, Kimmy who? All the money spent on spaceflight is on Earth, going to the people that built it. There is very little intrinsic value in the stuff that's actually launched. It's just some aluminum tubes and solar panels. We're gaining technical expertise in aerospace, Raz. Like, exactly. That's what people don't fundamentally understand. It doesn't freaking matter. So choosing sides is stupid. That doesn't make sense. Yeah, I know, Tink. Kimmy's been my favorite driver for a very long time. Dude, I used to hate him when he raced that McLaren. He was so annoying. Because he was freaking always put the car up there, man. And then when he came to Ferrari, I was like, okay, Kimmy's alright. I see it. I see why people like him. And I've been a fan of Kimmy since 2007. He's been my favorite driver since. Yeah, Untitled Spacecraft, Vulcan. I'm with you. All I wish NASA did earlier was never use that money to get on. All I wish that NASA did earlier than never was use the money they got off of patents into NASA. Yeah. My girlfriend thinks Elon is a bad person. Yeah, S, remember what started this conversation, saying bad things about people behind their back? You know what's funny about people saying bad things about people behind their back? You know, they're usually a bad person. Hi, girlfriend. Are you mad? Are you pissed? Good, blame S, it's his fault. Cheers, man. Dude, I don't like it's no secret that I'm not a fan of Ars Technica's articles. You ever see me say anything bad about Eric Berger as a person? No, I'm sure he's a great dude. I'm sure we'd be friends. I'm dead serious about that. Dude, we both like space. Like, that's what I mean. One team, one dream, man. Don't get confused. I have headphones on, thank Oh, man, that would have been amazing. All right. Who told me to see their last? What's up, dudes? Swishio, what's up? SLS is like a free plane ticket, but yeah, exactly, dude. Yeah, I don't know. Sure, the VOD. Screw that. S, dude. You got... Dude, I don't know. You gotta... I don't know, man. I don't understand your girlfriend, dude. I'll be honest. And I don't mean that in a mean way. Like, I don't understand. Is there anything that you guys like doing together? Like, I'm just putting it out there. Like... Same? Well, S, why don't you break it off then? Oh. Oh, you... I'm going back to the NSF video. Damn it. Max gets it. Oh my god. Oh, Dad, I just put two and two together. God damn, I'm slow. God, I'm so stupid sometimes. Holy shit. I'll take the time out, man. Screw it. Oh my god. Oh, dude, that took me way longer than it should have. Man. It took you long. Dude, you're a piece of crap, man. Oh my god. That's terrible. Oh, okay. Yeah, I got you. Yeah. You're young. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense now. Yeah, all right. Sorry, I had a boomer moment where I'm like, I don't understand why you don't break off the relationship if you don't like each other. Real boomer moment from Eve J over here. Entropy, dude, here's the thing. I have my criticisms about Elon. Of course. Nobody's perfect, man. Nobody's perfect. In fact, the people that blindly follow him are... Did you actually think about this? Like, because you should be able to criticize things that you like. I criticize a lot of things that I like. Like, I like Werner von Braun. I can acknowledge that he's a piece of trash. Like, and Henry Ford, for that matter. Like, I can acknowledge that. I understand. Nobody's perfect. I mean, I get it. But you should be able to point out the criticisms in the thing that you like. That's how you know you like it, because the benefits outweigh the criticisms. Especially in S's case. Boom! Humans are imperfect, dudes. We're not perfect. Don't act like we are. We're not. I'm not a perfect person, dude. I can't start a stream on time to save my goddamn life. It's true. Check Discord. Oh boy, I might be in trouble. But then again. Alright, okay, yes, I got you. Yep. Alright, what do we got? Transport stand parts. How many lug nuts do you want on your tires? Yes. How many lug nuts you want? All of them. Oh, you just reminded me. I found a photo of my great uncle, John Kane, from when him and his team won the 62 Army R&D achievement, working to develop Aerozine 50. Bro. That's cool. Nice. Now, one thing I'll tell you what, boys, that I'm super biased about, and I don't care who knows it, is my Fords. Look at that truck. Truck's a tank. It is a tank in pickup truck form. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Look at it. It's beautiful. Seriously, though. That thing could pull a house down. I mean, don't get me wrong. A Chevy 3500 HD dually could do the same thing. And I like that truck pretty much equally. Except for the front. The front of the new Chevys look ridiculous. Oh. The SPMT stubbed its toe. You see, the front wheel was up. Slight off-topic F for me and my 80-hour RDR2 save. Oh. 1713 Navy. Anchors away. Now that's a nice truck, hell yeah. Any GM pre-2005, I am 100% okay with. They're nice trucks. I don't like GM when they started skimping on parts and started making stuff for cheap. They started making stuff out of cheap plastic and skimping in the mid-2000s. And then what happened in 2008, I really, that's why I don't like Chevy, man. What happened after 2005? Jack, ask any Chevy owner, dude. They started really cheaping out on parts. Like, really, stuff that breaks, knobs that break in the truck. Like, and once again, this is not me being a Ford guy. Ford did the same thing. Oh yeah, no, everyone did. Started really cheaping out on stuff, using cheaper ABS plastics and stuff that breaks, just clips that come undone, car falls apart. Chevy really started skimping in the mid-2000s when I was in high school. Like, if I could show you like a 2000 Chevy Tahoe and an 05 Tahoe, like, and show you the differences, you'd be appalled. Yeah, that's why I don't hate GM, dude. I just do that because I like Ford, and it's funny. I find it hilarious that, you know, there used to be a huge, I mean, there still is. There's a huge brand rivalry, but I don't really care, man. As long as it goes fast, like, I don't care. I don't care if it's a Prius. If it's a Prius that can do 10s in the quarter mile, I'll probably think that's really cool. Like, you know. Yeah, Truett, exactly. That's a Fiat, Dale. You know what Ford stands for? Fix it again, Tony. Well, I think you're talking about a different car there, Dale. Oh, there's water in the exhaust. Oh! Time for some pasta Faggioli. Man, dude, Mr. Faggioli must be making some bank, dude. His name's all over this dang launch site. Mach-E goes fast. My beef with the Mach-E Guinea is that it was made in... The Mach-E is a product of focus groups and marketing research, and it's a corporate product. I don't like it. It's cool, I guess. Like, I'm not... But, dude, I like the F-150 Lightning. The F-150 Lightning is cool. Ford should have made that first. The Italian in me is proud of Mr. Faggioli. Swishio, I don't know about you, dude. I don't know how it is. Well, it's obviously the same way in Italy, dude. There's a bajillion construction firms in the United States, like, that are just all Italian names, especially up here in the Northeast, New York, Boston, stuff like that, because the Italians worked when they came over here. Speaking from experience, my parents work. My parents worked. We all do. The Italians work, man. We do work. They took up all the trades. So there's always, like, you know, Faggioli construction, Perini construction. Like, it's freaking Italians in the construction industry, man. The general contracting. They're all over the place. Rather cynical, but how many were mob fronts? Perini is one of the biggest construction contractors in the country, Kickning. It's not a front for anything. I mean, there's probably some construction companies here and there, Kickning, but that's not... For every one front company, there's like 30 legit ones. Here in northeastern Italy, 90% of construction workers are Balkans because everyone here is too spoiled to make walls in 5 degrees outside. Yeah, Switchio, I got you. Yeah, we work and play bocce. I haven't played bocce in years, Vola. The place where I played bocce is not a place anymore. Shame. Bocce is like curling on dirt with balls instead of discs. It's pretty fun. Isn't Ford doing an all-electric truck? Yes, Kenma. But do you play extreme bocce? No. So, especially anytime I see, like, a construction contractor around, you know, it's like, oh, you know, Torini construction. I'm like, nice. Yeah, all right. Not sure if it's the same Faggioli. It is. So Faggioli was originally a transport business created in 1955 by its founder, Giovanni Faggioli. Over a short period of time, Faggioli became a leading company in handling and transportation of goods throughout Italy. Nice. Nice. Continued investments in personnel and equipment soon led to the company into an ever-widening market in project shipping with destinations and origins around the world. Clients began to return with more complex problems which required new and innovative solutions, which led Faggioli to develop and apply new ideas and technologies. The company was led over 50 years by the late Alessandro Faggioli, president until his recent death in March 2020. A dedicated, passionate, and far-sighted man. Yep. Nice. They do, T-Man. They definitely do, Ferd. So they moved the test tank Booster 6 back into the high bay after moving Booster 5 out. Yeah, that one I don't understand. I don't know what they're doing with booster production here. It's very weird. The fact that Faggioli makes it all better. Faggioli means beans makes it all better. His name is Mr. Beans? His name is Mr. Wait. His name is Mr. Bean? Faggioli means beans. Oh my god. That's the funny thing about Italian. Everything, you know, everybody says like, oh, the name sounds so elegant and so complicated. No, it's usually something like that. Like take this for instance, the Maserati Quattro Porte. Quattro Porte. You know what that means in English? 4-door. Quattro Porte. 4 doors. Yeah, that's what that means. Yeah, perfect. Yeah. The Maserati Quattro Porte. Yeah, 4 doors. That's what that means. What? The car has 4 doors. That's why we call it a 4-door car. What? It sounds good. It's what do you want to call this car? I don't know. 4-door. Okay. Pit stop. That's what it's called. It's just called 4-door. Testarossa. Testarossa. Who knows what that means? The Italians know what that means. Let's see if anybody else knows what that means. Ferrari Testarossa. You know what that means? Redhead. Testa is head. Rosa is red. Redhead. Yeah. I worked in telemarketing once. Don't judge, I needed the money. Once called a guy named Saddam Hussein. Nice. Drink Red Balls. You see this car? You see this car? You know what that's called? Super fast. Yeah, see, Max, see, mi scusi, yeah. It's called a super fast. What's super fast in Italian? Is it super leggera? I forget. Super veloci. Veloci? Veloci? Yeah. I'm telling you, the Italians have all these exotic names for their cars. They just mean like 4-door and 2-door, and it goes fast. I've seen it, JW. I saw the highlights. Molto veloci? Super leggero means super light. Yeah, the Ferrari super light. Yep. Why? Because the car is light. And then there's the best one. There's the best one. The Ferrari. That's literally what that car is called. The Ferrari, it's called a La Ferrari, which is Italian for the Ferrari. Yep. Yep. Quattro valvole 308 GTS. Yep. 4 valve. Yep. Just the Ferrari. That's what, dude. Look up most Italian car names. That like the exotic cars, like Testarossa, you know, freaking Quattro Porte. They're just very red. It's just regular names. They tried to call something the F-150. That didn't work. Ford got mad. Old habits die hard. Ford and Ferrari don't like each other. Yeah, Metroid, they just call it what it is. Yeah, it sounds like they let their engineers name the cars. And that's what's funny about engineering. It doesn't matter what language it's in, it produces the same behavior every time. I have engineered the best 4-door car in the world. Hey, what should we call it, Giovanni? The 4-door? Okay. Okay. Know what ciao means? Hi. Ciao's the thing because of the way it is. It's pretty neat. Okay. Is it time to eat? Yes, we go eat. Calling car Nova and selling it in Mexico. Nova, yeah. Good job, Chevy. Oh, boy. Do you mean like Starship Super Heavy? Yeah. This picture's pretty cool, the two starships from the air. Yeah, absolutely. Basically fluent. I should learn Italian. My grandmother could speak it. She never bothered teaching it to us because she thought it was useless. She's like, freaking, my grandmother came here, for the people that don't know, she came here on a boat when she was 14. In sometime, I think it was 1940 if I'm remembering right. Que cosa? And yeah, it's funny because I remember when I would go, both my parents worked, so I went in, like after school I'd go to my grandparents' house because parents were both working, right? Jeez, sounds like I've family workaholics, that's good. And I always remember my grandmother talking to, the other Italian women around. They were speaking Italian. They would get very loud. Yeah. Italians, loud. It makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. It makes perfect sense to me. And then I asked, I'm like, I remember one day, I'm like, what language is that? She's like, it's Italian. I'm like, can you teach it to me? And she was like, no. No. No, you don't need, I remember she was like, yeah, you don't need to learn this. You don't need to learn this. English is better. I'm like, what? What? All right. Did she ever use the Italian hands when speaking? Rocket Guy, everyone talks with their hand. That stereotype is there for a reason. I do that all the time. But see, like, the thing is, I can talk without my hands. I only use my hands when I'm explaining things. So, like, I remember my grandparents. My grandparents, I like, it's so stupid. They would get so mad at each other. Like, in 30 seconds, it would go from 0 to 11. And then the next second, everything would be fine. Like, they'd be like, you gotta wash the dishes. I don't want to wash the dishes. You gotta wash the dishes. You wash the dishes, you lazy bum. No, you wash the dishes. No, you. All right, I'll do it. All right, fine. Like, it's like, what? What? That was very confusing as a kid. No, the specific one? This one right here? I don't ever do this unless I'm doing this like right now. At least I don't think I do. Oh, jeez. No, not to my knowledge, no, Rocket Guy. I don't know what to do with my hands. You should put them by your side. The car was running real good. Car's running real good today.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
I felt like I was on a spaceship. Hey, human, gifted 5 subs. Thanks, buddy. All right, dudes. We got a couple more things with space news and then go. Let's finish up this Starship video here and see. Iron, I'm with you on that one. Ferrari Stradale. Yep, means road able. 48 Pista means track. Yep. 250 GT Berlinetta means small Berline. Yep. Yep. Mondial. Yep. I know. Not sure what to do with my hands. Can't pull the hand out with just anyone. Only those that can handle the true spaghetti. Spaghetti! It's like the high-speed circuit at Monza. Pista de alta velocità. That literally just means high-speed ring in Italian. But it sounds amazing. Honk honk! Oh god. Pista di alta velocità. High-speed track. Yeah, that's what that means. Yep, that's what that means. it's not, yeah. But it sounds awesome. Pista de alta velocità, you know? It sounds amazing. It just means fast track. Mamma mia! Hi, mama. Do you break your spaghetti in half? No. I do not do that. No. Don't break, no. Don't. Do not break the goddamn spaghetti in half. How the hell can you can't twirl it if you... You can't twirl it if you do that. It's impossible to control with the fork. That's terrible. No, that's terrible. Don't do that. Heathens, you don't break the spoon. Use a spoon? Oh, you're dead to me. You are dead to me, man. What the heck? Break it into thirds? I would rather read Geeson's pun than continue this conversation. What does it say? One night a Viking named Rudolph the Red was out looking out the window and he said it's going to rain. His wife asked, how do you know? Because Rudolph the Red knows rain, dear. Cut in the spaghetti. What the hell's the matter with you? Are you out of your goddamn mind? You don't break ramen noodles down, do you? Why? So you can twirl the noodles. How is she going to eat the noodles? That doesn't make any sense. Hi, Geeson, by the way. Oh, this is terrible. Don't break the spaghetti. What's wrong with you? Wait, what is this? Wait.
Is this enough for both of us?
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Is this enough for both of us?
No, a little bit more.
Okay, I'm going.
Che cazzo? Sara, ma tu sei pazza!
What?
Sara, tu...
Ah!
We don't... I have to eat this shit pasta so soon.
What do you mean? I just...
This is not spaghetti, my love, come on.
It doesn't
You
say
don't understand me. No, you can't cut the pasta so...
I was just...
No!
It just didn't fit in the pan.
Man, I don't go in the pan, my love. You cut the pasta. You know that is illegal in Italy.
Oh my god, that's the best. That's, dude, I would have had the same reaction. What are you doing? Stop it. Yeah, came here, it's terrible. Who eats a hamburger with a knife and a fork? What are you, crazy? Psychopaths do that, man. my love, what are you doing? No. Look, it could be a Renaissance painting right there. Look. It could be a Renaissance painting. Oh! The fall of Rome. Oh! Because they broke the spaghetti. Oh. I eat pizza with chopsticks. Fear you. No, fear is not the word I would use. Laugh is the word I would use. Laugh at you. Oh. This should be illegal. This is illegal in Italy. The pasta police will come find you. Somebody broke my spaghetti. Oh, it's terrible. This is terrible. Look at the emotions over the. That right there. That is the Italian face of disdain. Yep, right there. That's the... What are you doing? What? No. It's just... It's terrible. I am disappointed. I loved you like a brother. You disappointed me, huh? Yep, you're not getting together. Switchio, I know that face. Oh yeah. Ever had redneck pizza? It's toast with pasta sauce and cheese. That sounds good, man. I'd eat that. You don't even know what you've done. This is illegal. This should be illegal in Italy. This is ridiculous. Here's the next space news thing. Whoop. You don't break the ramen noodles, all right? Bum, 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 bum. Boom, boom.
はい、ということで先ほどですね国際宇宙ステーション ISS に見事着きました。
ねえ、すごい。
で、この動画は、宇宙に着いた僕から皆さんに伝えたいことっていう動画なんですけど、伝えたいっていうとちょっとオーバーなんですけど、報告したいことまず一つは宇宙っていう場所が本当にあった本当にありました。宇宙ってほら何キロ以上が宇宙で一体その先どこまで宇宙っていうか未だによくわからないけど、一応国際ルール上で100キロ以上上が宇宙っていうことなんだけど、今僕は400キロぐらい上空にいて見事宇宙でした。で国際宇宙ステーションっていう本当に宇宙の駅も実際にありまして、サッカーコートぐらいの大きさの本当に鉄の塊みたいな大きなとこなんだけど、それが上空を本当に浮いて地球上を毎日毎日16周のスピードで16周するスピードで飛んでるっていう事実もちゃんと自分のこの目で見て確認しました。
So the parts that didn't have subtitles, guys, I understood those parts mostly because there are words that don't translate into Japanese. He said, I'm up on the space station right now. I flew up to the space station, stuff like that. It was pretty straightforward stuff. It's like when we're listening to Russian, some words don't translate and I can pick up what they're saying just based off of the words that don't translate, and you can form context off that. 宇宙 equals space. Cool.
で今も後ろに地球が見えてるんだけど、ちょっと逆光で分かります？
Bro. Yeah, that would be pretty cool to see.
ほら青かったとか本当に丸いのとかいろいろないいねあるけど、見てわかる通りマジで丸いしマジで青いです。本当に綺麗。ちょっと放っておくとすぐその太陽の角度とか変わって全然また違う景色が見れるから、またそれはそれで違う動画でいろいろ皆さんにお見せしたいと思います。であと伝えたいことはやっぱ夢叶っちゃったよってことで、頑張っていれば夢は叶うんだって、地上でもずっと夢は叶うぞとかって言ってたんだけど、本当に叶っちゃってもう感無量です。お金出せば誰でもいけるじゃんとか、お金で夢買ってんじゃないのとかってもしかしたら言う人もいるかもしれないけど、けどそれはね、皆さんもそうだと思うけど、マイホームが欲しいとか、結婚式あげたいとか車買いたいとか、お金が必要でお金で実現できる夢もいっぱいあると思うから、自分で頑張って稼いだお金で夢を叶えるっていうのは全然俺はいいと思うんです。で特に僕の場合極端でよく批判されがちなんだけれども、生まれた瞬間からこんなねお金稼いでまさか宇宙行くとも思ってないわけで、着々といろんな夢を少しずつ叶えていく中で、ついに本当に大きな子供の頃からの夢を叶えられたんで、皆さんも夢諦めずに頑張っていきましょう。ということで通信大丈夫でした、ということで本当に夢を皆さんで着々と叶えていきましょう。本当に今宇宙にいます。無重力のちょっと証明したい。ちなみに今ここはですね、僕のステーション内で部屋を借りてまして、カプセルホテルみたいな感じで、ここにもう寝袋とかあって、ここで毎日寝ることになるんだけど、本当に浮いてます。もうちょっと話すとこんな感じで。
Oh, that's so cool.
無重力。
I'm sorry, I don't know why that's funny. Are those Huggies? Okay, that's just very weird.
ということで、これから12日間ここに滞在することになりますんで、いろんな実験とかいろんな面白いことやって、引き続き、YouTube とか Twitter とかで配信していきたいと思います。頑張ります。夢叶えましょうみんな。さようなら。
さよなら、Meizao-san. Cool. That was pretty neat. Yeah, no, I like him. Yusaku's cool. Work hard, dudes. It's good stuff. Cool. That was awesome. There was something very Japanese about just kind of, yeah, I'm just going to play Yusako Maezawa ball right now. Just push you around. All right, guys, let's see. What else do we got? Got that. Got that. Oh, here. Check this out. You guys will appreciate this. This is from the NS-19 flight this morning. Let's take a look. Boop. Boop. Boop.
That picture.
Oh my goodness sakes.
Oh.
This is heaven.
Hey,
We're gonna lose him now.
oh, check this out. Oh my God.
Oh, you just let go and you go
Butt
up.
cam!
Holy moly, I lost it.
Oh my God.
This is so much fun. Oh yeah, what's my hair doing? Is it going everywhere?
My hair's flowing.
Oh, look at the black. Oh,
Holy.
moly. Oh wait, let's.
Yeah, that's
Look at that
cool.
picture.
That's pretty cool. Looks kind of cramped. Yeah, it's funny because they call it space and there's a lot of it, but the things that we use to ride into space don't have a lot of space. Dude, I'm sorry. I wouldn't be doing any of this. I'd be looking out the window pretty much the entire time. I'd be like, yeah, I'd be doing what that guy's doing that entire time. Yeah, I'd be doing that the entire time. I'd just be looking out the window. Basically what Shatner did. Yep. I would just be looking out the window. They'd be like, hey, EJ, come here and look at this. I'd be like, nah, I'm good. I'll just be over here. Exactly, Vasya. That's the thing. Yeah, you could go on the vomit comment and get 0G just like that. The view is what makes New Shepard awesome. See? I'd be looking out the window, man. This is what I'm doing. This is what I'd be doing right there. Just looking out the window the whole time. Maverick, you work at the U.S. Space and Rocket Center, and this channel is great. Hey, I'm glad you like it, man. I'm just a big spaceflight junkie. Like, it's bad. You got a nasty addiction. But that's awesome, man. Cool. Relativity set up their stands at Huntsville the other day. Or maybe that was at Stennis. I think that was at Stennis. Down the river a little bit. That's cool, Maverick. That's awesome. It's always cool to see people around in the industry, man. If you want 0G, just rent a Cessna 152 and do some 0G maneuvers for $100. It's the I'm with you. That's the views. I want the views. I want to look out the window. Dude, I'd love to see space someday, man. I just don't know if I'm competent enough to be an astronaut, man. Maybe it's probably gonna end up being a space tourist if that even ever happens, you know. Stennis, yes, I linked the stand's location. Yeah, Gian, yeah, that's how I remembered from when you linked it yesterday. I was looking at your link after the stream. T Dave, thanks, man. 33-month resub. But Maverick, I'm glad you like it, dude. I just try to show people how legit this stuff is. It's really cool. It's very, 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 very cool stuff. Like, it's just, you know, I've noticed that it doesn't necessarily, I mean, SpaceX curbs that a lot, but it doesn't always get presented in context of how ridiculous it actually is. And that's what I've been able to carve out a little space niche over here on Twitch because, you know, I like showing people how nuts it is. You know, one of my things, Maverick, is that everyone says space is hard, but nobody says why space is hard, you know? That's why I try to get in and explain that stuff, you know. So like, why, you know, off the top of my head, why does an upper stage nozzle have a different expansion ratio than a first stage nozzle, right? I get into that kind of stuff. And goal for me is to work for NASA, so I hope I can get the job. And yeah, this stuff is amazing. I'm just glad you reach out and tell others about space program. I do what I have to do, man. Do what I have to do. And Maverick, thing about me is I'm greedy. I want all the rockets. I don't care what it is. I really don't. I want all the rockets. I want all the rockets. With that being said, some pictures from NASA, from Bill Nelson's tour of Michoud, where the SLS is being made, got released by NASA the other day. Here, check this out. Here's the, let's see. So we have the downcomer. Those are the mounts for the LOX downcomer, and those are the autogenous repressurization line mounts right there. So this is the hydrogen stage. I mean the hydrogen tank for core stage 2. It's been coated with Sophie right there, and then the reason why it's got different tones of like green there is because of the anti-corrosion primer that they put on the aluminum. Yeah, I want them all. Dude, I am a greedy son of a gun when it comes to rockets. I don't really give two fricks what it is. If it goes into space, I want it. You know? This thermo pudding was a joke, wasn't it? Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not pudding that they put on the rocket Strzelecku. It's spray-on foam insulation, which... Spray-on foam insulation to hydrogen does what, like you ever have a beer or something and you have a foam insert around the beer to keep it cold? Literally the same thing. It's a koozie for the rocket. I don't know if koozie translates into other languages from English, but cooler, I guess, would be the right thing. I can't wait for the Atlas mission. Which one, Maverick? What's the next Atlas launch? Spray-on pudding insulation. Yep. So this looks like, I mean, the good news here is that if they're applying the foam, guys, if they're putting the foam on this tank, that means the tank is good to go. They wouldn't put the foam on if the tank wasn't ready. Beer jacket, sure. Beer keeper cooler. Cooler keeper beer. I was hype on that STP-3 mission, man. That was fun. The Bruiser, freaking Atlas 551, that's a beast mode of a rocket. Yep, so this is where the LOX line, because the SLS is shuttle derived, it has an external LOX downcomer, and it goes around the hydrogen tank. You know why? Because if they had an internal downcomer with hydrolox, the liquid oxygen would go through the hydrogen tank and it would freeze. Yeah, hydrogen would cool the liquid oxygen to solid oxygen. Can't do that. I mean, you can. But you'd be running into some nuts thermo problems. That's why a lot of hydrolox rockets have an external downcomer. That doesn't mean that you can't do that. It just means it's a little bit of a harder problem to solve. The mission coming in 2025 to send 4 American astronauts to the moon. Hell yeah, man. Yep. And we got another picture here. Let's see. Oh, who knows what this is? I know what this is. Who knows? I'm wondering who can guess. Lock's good, sock's bad. A tube? It is an aluminum tube. Yeah. It's an espresso machine. SRB stiffener? Nope. Scaffolding, yes. Yes, it is scaffolding. Yep. It's the engine section, Hokie. You're looking at one of the LOX downcomers on the engine section. Now, let's see. Do we have foam applied on the ES yet? Nope. No foam yet. So the engine section still has a little ways to go. But there should be, in this picture, there should be another one over there. Yep, there it is. SLS has 2 LOX downcomers, one on either side. It can't just use one because one LOX downcomer can't feed 4 engines. It can only feed 3 because it's from the shuttle. So the SLS has 2. There's a downcomer on either side. It's bare. Yep, no Sophie on this thing yet, Mav. So it's got a little ways to go. But either way, awesome pictures, man. These pictures that are, so that's core stage 2. So that's the second SLS serialized stage. Core stage 2, that should fly in 2024. Maybe a little earlier, probably 2024, which is good. Yeah, it's core stage 2, Mile. Mm-hmm. The engine section doesn't get foam. It gets that brown ablator that gets painted white. That's a good point. I defer to your judgment. So, Are we talking about that stuff right there? Cool. So if that's the case, yeah, that's right. It's white. Why the heck did I think it was covered in foam? Sorry. Freaking slip of the tongue. You're right. So, I mean, if the downcomers are on this thing, and the downcomers do have insulation on them, I mean, that means this thing is a lot further along than what I just said. Which is pretty rad. That's cool. And also, the proof is in the pudding. See how that's brown? It's because we sprayed pudding all over the sides of the rocket. The lighter colored stuff is foam, not the light green primer. Got it. Cool, 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 cool. Excelente. Very nice. It's coming, man. Nevis, once again, if Bill does that block by, I'm probably still going to make pudding jokes, but... Yes. Is that white material for vibration protection? It's most likely for thermal, Maverick, if I had to guess. Please talk about how you aren't going to open that one can of spacecraft until we land on the moon. Oh. Why? It's not that Bill sucks. He kind of scared me with his rebaselining the Artemis program. And I don't like that he threw Jim under the bus. That pisses me off. I really lost a lot of respect for him when he did that. Don't get me wrong. Still okay. But he kind of went down a little bit, you know, saying all the stuff that Jim did to make SLS, you know, to get SLS kind of back on track, calling that technically infeasible. Really, I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. You know, Jim never threw Charlie Bolden under the bus, even though he could have. He never did. Why would Bill do that? But then again, Bill is very good. He's a very good politician. He's very good at speaking that language. He may have done it for a reason. Swishio, what's that? Soyuz on Atlas? Ooh. 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 Why do I like that? That's very strange. So, once again, if Bill block buys, I will gain that respect back. Will it be a net gain? I don't know. Yes, but come on, 2024 wasn't going to happen. Maybe 2025, but I mean, Swishio, yeah, you can say that. I get it. You could say that. And dude, I don't think that would be an unreasonable thing to say. I get it. But also, it's your job to make that happen. You can't say, inventing a new element is technically infeasible when it's your job to invent a new element. Like, that's like saying you're a construction worker and saying I can't pour this concrete here because it's technically infeasible, even though it's your job to pour the concrete. So make it technically feasible. Going to the moon in 1961 was technically infeasible, but we did it. It's not necessarily, like, dude, and this is the point that I tried to get this point across. I understand, it was no secret that 2024 was a hard challenge. And it was probably not going to get met. Like, I'll be real with you. That probably wasn't going to happen. Like, I didn't make any distinction about that. Like, that, it's a hard task. That's a hard thing to do. But every time NASA has been challenged like that, they rise to the occasion. Like the Apollo program. Setting deadlines is a good way to have accountability in your government space program. You have to set deadlines. And those deadlines have to be bold, just like Apollo. It has to. If you just keep kicking the can down the road and say, like, oh, you know what, we're going to do this. This is technically infeasible. That's a very weird way to look at it, because it's your job to make it feasible. My job is to make it feasible, but it's technically infeasible. So it's more feasible down the road. What? So? Concrete. Yeah, exactly, Ichi. I really didn't like that. That really pissed me off. I don't like that. But hey, I get it. I understand. Like, 2024 is a stretch goal. I get it. You know, like that makes sense. Also, at the Rocket Center, we have a section dedicated to the Artemis program. Cool, Maverick. There you go. Awesome. Also, a good way for companies to think, oh, gravy train time. Yeah. Guys, fundamental secret of the aerospace industry: nothing happens on time. Nothing. Crew Dragon, not on time. Falcon 9 reuse, didn't happen when Elon said was going to happen. Guess what?
Discovery.
Elon time is an industry-wide thing. Sorry, guys. Like, it's just the rate at which your deadlines come at are different between companies. But it's always going to take longer than you think it's going to take. Aerospace engineering works like that. There's nothing you can do about that. It's almost like we're doing really, really, really hard things. This is really difficult stuff. And there's always going to be a problem that you didn't anticipate. Falcon Heavy took a really long time, MC. Yeah. Hey, Chops. ZZ Chops. 6-month resubs. The shuttle. Delayed by 2 years. This stuff happens. So, if by that logic, every single aerospace project is delayed, a bold deadline will favor it getting done sooner rather than later. This is something that I always tried to tell people with Jim and going back to the moon in 2024. And this is why I got pissed off when people would say, like, oh, it's not feasible. It's not feasible. Yeah, of course it's not feasible. It's not feasible until you make it feasible. If your job is in the technical feasibility department and you say it's technically infeasible, well, what are you doing? Okay. Hey, my pick. What's going on? Yeah, Wally, NASA moves slow, but that's by design. It's by design. That's the other thing you got to understand. NASA moves slow by design, so they don't get anybody killed. This isn't rocket science, man. Nothing much, man. Happy Saturday. You too, man. Might skip racing tonight to ice skate early morning tomorrow. Sweet. Beyond our current schedule. Yeah. Yeah, that's why I didn't like it. But hey, Bill, I gained a lot of respect back for Bill when he put out the block buy for the SRBs the other day. I don't know if you guys saw that part. Bill and NASA put out a block buy for 18 solid rocket boosters for Artemis missions out to Artemis 12, which is ka-ching. 18 SRBs, 2 per launch, 9 missions. So from Artemis 3, Artemis 4 to Artemis 12. With the options, with that contract actually says that it's $3.9 billion for 18 SRBs, and the contract actually stipulates that the EUS will fly on Artemis 4, and SLS Block 2 will make its introduction for Artemis 9, which is good. Good. That tells me that if you're going to block buy the boosters, a core stage block buy is happening very soon. I don't know, Swishio. I just don't really appreciate him throwing Jim under the bus like that. That really pissed me off. Because Jim did so many good things for NASA. You know, I get it. It's not technically feasible. But you don't need to say that, you know? You want something in 3 years, you announce that as the deadline, you get it in 5 if you're lucky. Tessa, this is for every single aerospace project. And it's not just American stuff. It's TSR-2. Good example. Canadians Avro Aero. Another good example. This stuff takes time. Even the Spitfire. The Spitfire was late. And that was when the British government was like, please make fighter planes faster. Please do this or else we die. Every aerospace project, man. It's almost like this stuff is complicated. It takes time. The shuttle, late. Apollo, technically late. They had to redesign the spacecraft. It was late from their initial projections. They were gonna fly in 1967, and they didn't because they had to redesign the entire spacecraft because it killed 3 people. The Germans with the Me-262, same thing. It was late, too late to influence any outcome of the war. Can you imagine if they had that at the start? Oh, that would have ended very bad. You know, every aerospace project is late. Even von Braun with the A4, late. The U.S. with the Titan program, late. It happens. That's just the way it be. That's just the way it is. So you got to set ambitious goals. That's how that stuff gets done. Imagine if the DoD gave a quarter of their money to NASA. You know what, Maverick? That's like saying I need to go grocery shopping, so here's $1 million. NASA doesn't need a quarter of the DoD budget. They don't. They don't need that. If you doubled NASA's budget tomorrow, it would be enough to do everything and then some. Moon base, Mars base, sure, no problem. EJ wins streaming. Late. Because this stream is about aerospace, Sirius. To see, it makes sense. It makes perfect sense, right? And see, that fits perfectly on a data plot with aerospace stuff that's late. Oh, man. That's right. Risk versus reward, though, Tessa. It's standard risk aversion analysis. 1% is enough. Yeah, Maverick, we don't even need that. You don't even... The NASA doesn't need $600 billion. NASA needs $40 billion. And don't get me wrong. I know that's a lot of money. I get it. It's a lot of money for us, but it's not... I mean, 40 compared to 600? Like, okay. The SR-71 wasn't late. Then again, it was damn close to Oxcart. Yeah. Yeah. Are we doing Minecraft or are we going to go right to Icarus? I want to play Minecraft because I haven't played Minecraft in a little while, Josh. And then if I get... I think we're just going to play Minecraft today. I wanted to play some Icarus, guys, but... I really want to play Minecraft. I haven't played. We haven't worked on our survival city. Here, let me show you. I've been working on... I actually haven't been working on it lately because I haven't been playing. But check this out, dudes. We're building a city in Minecraft in survival. This is all built in survival. We actually mine the resources, we move the resources around, and we build it and get... Holy crap, World Killer built the Stena. Thomas! Tell me Thomas is here. That's the Stena, dude! Oh, that's amazing! Dude, we gotta go check that out. Holy crap, man, you built Stena! Would it help make progress? Doubling the budget, Maverick? Absolutely. But, see, doubling the budget is just one part of the battle. Oh, dish, that's scary. Okay. Doubling NASA's budget is just one part of the battle, Maverick. You need a plan. You need a plan of attack. And part of that is making a deadline. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things. Not because it is easy, but because it is hard. See what I'm talking about? He built that in like a couple of days because World's a freaking legend, dude. He's one of the biggest contributors to the Minecraft project, dude. Him, Drool Bucket, Tiggs. Not Serious Potato Bot. No, not him. No. Wait, what's the Stena? So that's a roll-on, roll-off car ferry. Check this out. Blue Origin bought the Stena, one of the Stena freighters, which was a car transporter ship, and they plan on converting it and making it do that. Here's the ISS transit I got. Let me see. That's why the Stena is cool. Ooh.
There it goes. Oh,
did you get it?
You see it?
Let me see.
We just...
WD, we're checking this out. Let me take a look.
Five seconds. If it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen now.
Whoa!
There it goes. Oh, you see it? We just got
Whoa!
the transit of the space.
What? Look, you can see the solar panels. All right. Well, I'll be dipped. That's pretty cool. Night tornadoes are scary, Sav. Yeah, that's scary. But there it is. WD, this is amazing. Also, you got a really nice shot of the Sea of Tranquility right there. Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed. Roger, Tranquility, we copy you on the ground. There's a bunch of guys turning blue down here. We're breathing again. Right there. Mare Tranquillitatis. The lunar basaltic lowlands right there. We'll be back. We'll be back. Sooner rather than later. Geez, get it right. I shook that guy's hand, S-Master. Your opinion is irrelevant. So yeah, that's why the Stena is cool. Anyway, I got one more video of the Proton rollout, if you guys want to see that, with the Express AMU-3 and the AMU-7 TV satellites. You guys probably want to check that out. Just posted something on Minecraft General and Discord to explain the ship. Same, but not the same. With Minecraft measurements, they are the same. Oh, okay. Why not the Evergreen? Because... oh, cool. Proton. Wait, what does that say? Hold on. Hold up a second. Dude, I can't read Russian when it's right side up. Never mind reading it upside down. Mupak translate. So this is Proizvod dude, I can't. Oh man, my brain's scrambling. My brain's scrambling. Krinichev said at Science Production Center. Ah. Thanks, man. Government Space Science Industrial Center, MV Krinichev. Ah, yeah. Yeah, okay. Okay. They got a picture of a, is that an FGB on it? Cool. I think that's a DOS. Yeah, it could be DOS. Oh, dude, the Kamaz fire truck. Hell yeah. I want that, and I want the truck too. It says push B. I'm pretty sure it doesn't say that. You jerk. Night rollout. Yes. Oh, that's cool. You sound like a big choo-choo train. How many protons are left? Not much. I think my Hearts of Iron... Hawaii 4. I think my Hearts of Iron save is cursed. The British Empire just declared war on the United Kingdom. What? What'd you do? You want a Ural or an old Lada? Zeal. Zeal is the truck. 7.4 liter gasoline. It's got a big block in it. Zeal is what you want. I like Proton's design. I guess it isn't as efficient as a normal design, though. It's Hypergall's mab. Proton's a good rocket. It's a good rocket and a good design. It's just the Hypergalls are not the meta for spaceflight anymore. That's not. Oh, you can't use Hypergalls because they're bad for the environment. Yeah, I mean, yet everyone uses kerosene. So, all right. I finally did good in Hearts of Iron 4. I puppeted France and took Paris for myself. Nice. I didn't know Proton had a cover on it. That's insulation for HVAC, T-Man. They'll take the silver cover off of the payload fairing when the rocket goes to launch. Yep. Proton, one of the simplest launch pads out there. These are great shots. So let's take a look. You got fueling depots over here, and like most Russian pads, everything is underneath. Everything is in a big foundation. They put all this stuff underground because they can, because they're not building in Florida where you can't dig a hole. What is that supported on when it's turned upright? A lot of people don't know Proton's hold down points are actually in the center of the vehicle. Proton is, like I said, it's kind of on its way out. That's the hold down points right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then the fueling umbilicals for the first stage are right there. Yeah. It's pretty cool. So Proton looks like it has a bunch of side boosters attached to it. No, that's one thing. It's one thing in the same way that a Saturn 1B is a bunch of leftover tanks from a Juno and Jupiter rocket that they just kind of put together on a frame and made a rocket stage out of. Proton is the same way. But the Russians didn't do that because they had a bunch of spare parts lying around and they wanted to make a rocket like the Saturn 1B. What the Russians did is splitting the stage up into separate tanks, right? So there's a center tank, and then these side tanks carry the liquid fuel. The center tank carries the oxidizer. These outer tanks are actually shipped in pieces, and part of the rocket integration is building the first stage. The reason why they need to do this is because most of the Russian infrastructure is built around trains. They don't have a super highway that goes to Baikonur or a canal that goes there so they can move big stuff like this on a barge. Proton can get that wide first stage because they ship the stage in pieces and they assemble it at the launch site. It's shipped in a bunch of small pieces. Probably a stupid question, but are you covering the launch tomorrow? I don't know if we'll cover this launch. If I'm awake, maybe. Maybe. So yeah, how does it get held up? Right in the center. The center tank. The oxidizer tank is in the center, and that's how they hold it up. It's actually really cool. That's what I mean. It's one of the simplest launch pads ever. Do you see any fueling umbilicals? You see any fixed service structure? Nope, you don't need one. There is the mobile service tower. And the mobile service tower does fuel the vehicle, but because this is using hypergolic propellants, you don't need to fill it up right when you go to launch. They can put the thing vertical, fill it, move the tower away, wait a day if they want to because the propellants don't boil off because they're hypergolic, and launch the rocket whenever you want. That's what I mean. Hypergolic rockets have a very simple launch pad architecture. That's why the US hypergolic rockets, like Titan, you could put it in a silo and leave it there. Titan has a very, very non-complicated launch pad. But Proton, I think, is even simpler. The fueling umbilicals look like USB ports. It's not that far off. Yep. It's about as simple as you can get. And all the fueling infrastructure is underneath. It's underneath this concrete here. Is this because Proton was intended as an ICBM? Yes. Proton was, if I'm remembering correctly, it's called a UR-500, Universal Rocket 500. It was intended as a heavy retaliatory strike ICBM. So, with ICBMs, you have the stuff that gets there quick. That's the first strike capability, which is why mutually assured destruction exists. And then there's the retaliatory strike weapons. This thing is what happens if this thing would have been carrying like a bunch of nukes on it. That's what we use Titan for. That's what the US used the Titan rocket for. The Titan carried the highest yield nuclear weapons of any ICBM that the US has ever used. So if the Cold War had gone hot and the US fired weapons at the Soviet Union, This is what you would have sent. You don't send your first strike for a first strike, because nobody can shoot down an ICBM once it's launched. It's really difficult. This is the, oh crap, we're being shot at, hit them with everything we got type of rocket. That's what Titan was used for. Titan and Proton are similar counterparts. It was built to throw enough nukes to knock the enemy completely out of submission, because if they're going to get you, you're going to get them. Same. That's what it was built for. Nowadays, unfortunately, thank God, it's used for just moving payloads into space, which is fine. I'm totally okay with that. Neither Proton nor Titan were ever fired in anger, which is good. That's a good thing. We've been very bad if either one of these ever launched in anger. Wasn't Proton intended for the Sarbumba? I'm actually not sure on that one. I don't know for sure. That sounds right. The only problem with Proton is that it wasn't silo launched, so a well-placed first strike could have taken down their retaliatory capability. Green, I can't imagine that they would just leave their ICBM sitting on the pad, but then again, if you just leave it sitting on the pad, you'd have enough time to launch that thing if you detected a nuclear offensive. So putting it in a silo might be irrelevant. Either way, great footage. So that was the Proton integration footage, moving the Express AMU-3 and the Express AMU-7, which are TV satellites, to up into space. That launch will be going tomorrow morning. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to be here. Maybe. These early morning launches, man, they really kill me. They screw up my schedule something fierce. But, yeah. Cool. I think that's going to do it for... for space news. I think we got everything. Okay. Guys, I'm going to jump into our Minecraft City project here. Take a look. We're working on building out a city here, and I'm going to go look around. We're going to pick a project to work on today, and we're going to get it done. Do you stream Space News daily? Yep. Space News is always daily. There's enough news and there's enough space stuff going on, Procyon, where I can afford to do it lately. It wasn't always that way. When I first started doing Space News, it was a 15-minute segment at the beginning of the stream because launches didn't happen as often as they did now 5 years ago, man. I could use some help setting up this tower if you have nothing else to do. Alright, well, we'll look around, Kick. So once again, check this out. We got a big old project going on here. Yeah, now Space News goes 3 to 4 hours, man. There's so much stuff to talk about, and there's people that want to learn. That's the thing. There's people that are hungry for Space News and want to learn about